All right. I know Rain's here. I always want to double check on YouTube, but it usually takes a second.
Let me reshare it on my Instagram.
Yeah, I feel a little rusty at like this because I haven't hosted anything in a long time, I feel like. So
yeah, I think it's fine.
It'll be fine. So I'm just gonna jump right into it, and that way, if anybody is watching, or if there is people watching it later, if you're here now in the comments, let us know if you read it and if you liked it or what you thought of it. Of The Other by Thomas Tryon, by the way. Oh, thank you, Kim. Kim is always here, so that's great.
I've got one.
Yes. I've got this really old edition. I actually bought a brand new paperback a while ago, and then the same week found this, and I was like, "What?"
Okay, so same. I got this one at Barnes and Noble, which I think is the newer cover, and then I was like, I need the old school cover because it's just so cool, and I found it on eBay, and yeah.
Yeah, I wanted this one so bad, and of course I had to just buy a copy, and then I found this at a used bookstore for $3.
That's so cool that you found it.
And I just love the old paperback, like the mass market stuff. So
Me too. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to publish this to my Instagram, and I can't do 2 things at once. Just want to make sure I have nothing I always get nervous that I have something visible on my screen that that people will, I don't know.
Oh, in our room that we're in?
Right I took a picture of my desktop, and I'm afraid there's something weird on my desktop, even though there's nothing. I'm just paranoid.
Okay, I won't go up too high. Wait, let me see. This picture right here that's hanging is you can't see it. I'm not gonna show you, but that's me naked in that picture. So I always have to make sure that I'm down really low. Which I know is a weird thing to have, but it's there.
Is it you naked pregnant?
No, it's I did a boudoir shot, photo shoot or whatever. So we got I'm just cool. Naked on our wall. I'm heck yeah. I'm I look good. I'll really looking at those in 50 years. Yeah. That was So yeah, I saw 3 stars. Let's see.
I think I did 4 stars.
If I was doing stars, that's what I would do. Is 4 stars.
I was starting with 3, but then towards the end, I was I think this is 4. It just got me towards the end.
Yeah. I think my overall thoughts before we get into what it's about and spoilers and stuff is just that the pacing in the beginning, it was a weird, oddly paced book. It felt really there was a lot at the end that was exciting and slower beginning. But I loved the prose. I really liked. I highlighted some of his descriptions of stuff. I don't want to say horror. It can't be literary, but I feel he's probably could write all kinds of different genres.
Yeah, it was really beautiful writing. And it's crazy. This was his first book, and he used to be an actor, a successful actor. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw that too because I think just looking him up to find other works or whatever by him. And yeah, he's got a really serious author photo and everything. I'm what is this? But yeah.
He also wrote Harvest Home, which is another book I want to read. I don't know how it's going to be in comparison. This book, I'm glad I kept up with it, and I'm glad I had this book club to push me and motivate me, because otherwise I feel I would have given up a lot sooner. Because it was just so, I was this is weird. This is slow. It started off pretty good, and then there was nothing, and then I was just confused. I was what am I reading? But then it picks up again. It was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, Rain feels the same, that it's great writing, a ton of detail. And that's what I noticed too in his beginning and in the prose. He was really trying to create this atmosphere almost, or the setting it up, and not horror details. Like
Yeah.
The descriptions of like the land and the weather or the summer or whatever.
It was more like about the family too, and like it was like a slice of life horror story where you're just getting to know this family. And
I'm sorry, apparently my husband can't handle a toddler and a puppy right now, so he just threw her in here.
Oh, I didn't realize you had a puppy.
This is Penny, our foster. But I'm sure as of next week, she'll be a foster fail. So,
she's
12 weeks, so she's puppy.
My dog is here. He's
There's Barlow.
Oh, look! Do you see the doggy? No, now he's getting ready.
No, lady.
Yeah. So anyway, back to the book. And there's puppy, there's dog, is there dog death or is it cat?
Cat.
Yes. So it opens with that. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I thought we were gonna get some really like creepy stuff, but then it like
it's almost, that was one of the things that I wrote about or took notes on about his writing. It's almost off-page kind of stuff. Like you get the descriptions or he hints to it, but it's not like a hint. Like you wouldn't be able to guess what he's saying. Or, and I don't think foreshadowing is the right word either, but like when Niles or Holland is visiting the neighbor and like, something's going to happen. Yeah. It's blatantly obvious, but it's still not like just out there. I really liked that too, because it was kind of like not cheesy, but it was like your typical horror, like something's gonna happen.
Yeah, there was a lot of dread, like a sense of dread in the situation. But also, I think that it's interesting to note, like this was back in the 70s before all this stuff, like the tropes of the twist that happens became popular. So I feel like back then, would this stuff have been more shocking and surprising to readers than it would be today? Because we're used to it.
Like I enjoyed this story. It was really like, it was captivating. I wanted to know what was going to happen, but like I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah. And I kind of guessed the twist too.
Yeah.
But it was still
what? Sorry.
It was still an exciting twist to me.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So when you start out the book, you don't really know. It's like a little prologue and you don't know who you're reading from.
Yeah.
So like by starting out the book like that, that was one of the hints for me of what the book, where it was going to go.
Yeah.
Well, because to me, it felt like, okay, you can't even trust who's who. You can't trust like the characters, whatever narration we're getting. I was like, we might not be able to trust this.
Yeah. I felt so when I first started that, I was really annoyed by the way it was starting. I was like, I can't read like this. I was like, is this the way the whole book is being told? But then it picks up after and it changes the narration. But yeah, that was a really interesting way to open it up.
Yeah. And yeah, Rain agrees too with, that's how I kind of feel about now that, not that I'm an expert or anything, but I have read so many mysteries and thrillers over the years. Like that was like my main genre for a really long time. And so I feel like I never trust anything. I already know what's going to happen. Like it takes a lot to really shock me. And I don't mean in like a skillful sort of way. I just mean like in a very creative way. But it was still, doesn't mean, if I guess a book, it doesn't mean it takes away from the enjoyment at all. Like it can still be fun. So
yeah, I think this definitely influenced a lot of stories in the future. You know what it also reminded me of? It reminded me of the Elementals. Like it felt like the same style as the Elementals.
Like getting all those descriptions and stuff in there. But then hitting like kind of like classic tropes and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they are classics. Like the books themselves are the classics. But so basically when they start the book off, like we learn about Holland and Niles, and they're different. They're completely different. Niles is supposed to be like kind and sweet, and Holland is evil. Yeah. And that's another kind of thing that tipped me off. Like there might be something here. But But also I thought I was expecting really like a psychological thriller, but then we get some kind of like game thing that they play with their grandma.
Yeah.
And I was like, where is this going? That kind of threw me off. Like, are we going supernatural? I don't know. Because I was thinking going into this that this is going to be like The Bad Seed by William Martin.
That's what I thought.
And that's kind of just like, you know, is she born evil or is she made evil kind of thing? Or whatever, you know, like, and it's, that's what I thought we were getting. But then they started throwing in this like possession type thing. I don't even know if that's like the proper word.
So I got really confused at certain points and I had to like reread certain things because my mind was like all over the place. So where was the possession stuff coming from? Like
it was like supposedly this Russian folklore power thing that like Russian people have, or like almost like a witchcraft aspect that they like this thing that families can pass down. And it was like they would hyper focus on something and be able to really feel it and embark it or like embrace it or whatever.
Okay.
And it was like something that their grandmother had taught them how to do. And it was just about like, I don't know if it has anything to do with like the Hilda thing that they talk about. So like Russian folklore, mythology stuff. But I thought that was weird because I was like, wait a minute, what are we doing?
And one of the, I think Niles, or I guess each of them, they could predict things or read each other's minds. Sort of.
Yeah, well, they had like the twin connection, but like with this power or whatever, this game, it made it seem like it was more than just like being super close to your sibling. Like we always hear those stories of twins like knowing when the other doesn't feel good or something. And then, you know, like this just seemed a bit more than that, more supernatural.
Because then I think Niles predicted like the baby, his sister's baby would be beautiful and all that stuff. Like he knew certain things, which was another weird element to the story. Yeah, there was a lot of different elements to this story.
Right. Well, and then so that it talks about like their childhood or when they are children, talks about like when they were born. Oh, astral projection. Maybe that's what I was trying to get at.
I missed that.
Yeah, because it comes in when he's like acting like the rooster and stuff, and I was like, "What is happening?" And that's when I was thinking it was just weird.
I think I like blanked that part out.
You just were like, "Why is he acting like an animal?" Okay, bye.
Well, because there was a lot of parts I was like, I can't do this right now, and I would just like skim a little, but like, I probably missed like huge major plot points to this story.
Okay, so when they talk about Holland and Niles being born, they talk about that they're twins, but they have different birthdays because they're born like right on the cusp of midnight. So they have different signs. What is that called? Astrology signs or whatever. Yeah. And Niles is born with a call. And usually when people say when you're born with a call, then you have psychic abilities or like supernatural abilities or whatever. And that's why he was like predicting things.
Okay.
But also, I feel like we need to give a spoiler warning now from here on out because I feel like I can't say anything else without spoiling. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure everyone who's commenting has read it. So.
Okay, so let's count down. 3, 2, 1.
Spoilers. Okay. So, the timeline of all of these things, we have Niles is born with the call, so he has the psychic abilities. And he predicts that the baby will be born beautiful. But then Holland tells him, no, the baby is going to be gross and like a changeling and stuff. But we come to find out that they're one and the same, Holland and Niles. And that's why Holland can tell him that the baby's going to be this changeling thing and gross. And then that's why Niles is like, no, it's pretty. So I really, that's kind of what I had predicted was going on.
Okay, so I'm confused. Okay, so I know that Holland died and Niles kind of. So is he like is Holland possessing Niles, or is Niles just like mentally unwell and this is like how he's coping with it? That's what I was like confused with. Like, I don't know.
You know, how I understand it, how I took it, is that Holland dies when he's hanging the cat in the well. He falls and dies then.
Yeah.
Which, like, karma.
Yeah.
But he is possessing Niles. He is going into him, but Niles doesn't understand that he is being taken over, or that he's talking to someone within him and not like an actual other person.
Okay.
Because at the very end, when we're back in the asylum, we find out, you know, like the grandmother tried to kill Niles because she finds out what's going on, and that he took his sister's baby and killed it and put it in the wine casket thing.
Oh my God. Okay. I didn't realize they said what happened to the baby, because I was like, what happened to the baby? I knew the baby was most likely dead, but I didn't.
Well, yeah. So like they're having their annual big family dinner, and they finally convince the sister to come down after her baby has gone missing and has been missing. And so she's distraught and stuff. They finally convince her to come downstairs, and the wine stops coming out of the cask thing. Is it a cask? I don't remember what it's called. And they're like, why did the wine stop? And like, you just know right then. They open it and the baby's in there. And it looks all gross. And it looks all gross like it did at the carnival when they saw the oddities, and Holland told Niles, that's what the baby's going to look like.
How did I miss that? I don't know how I missed that.
It was rough. I mean, let's see. He kills the cat, kills the rat, kills his cousin with a pitchfork. He throws his
mom down the stairs.
Yep.
Right.
Poisons the neighbor, and then steals his sister baby and puts it in the wine cask thing.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then at the very end, when we're back in the asylum thing or whatever, the uncle has found out what Niles has done this whole time since Holland died, and that the grandma killed herself when in trying to kill Niles. And Niles is mad that nobody will call him by his name, Holland. So to me, that meant that Holland had taken over Niles.
That's what I was getting from that. Ooh, yeah. I like that theory that I think Niles killed Holland and Niles took on his personality.
Right. So think about it, like, you know, like in, you know, all those stories where like a twin eats the other in the womb, or like in an embryo, or one absorbs the other, and you get I almost just spoiled a Stephen King book, Hardcore. So I'll just stop right there. But like, it's yeah, so like a twin absorbs the other and it takes on its personality and stuff, like that happens apparently, supposedly.
That's very interesting.
I also really loved the baby part reveal, because you just know. You just like know what's gonna happen.
Did they say it explicitly that the baby's in there?
Yes. Hold on. I probably highlighted it because it was.
How did I miss it? Because I feel like a lot of stuff it doesn't explicitly say, like it was written in a way that I was like, what? It confused me. Like,
right, because yeah, I know exactly.
Like, with the grandmother taking Niles to the cellar or whatever, I didn't know what was happening until he says, so yeah, she tried to kill me. I was just like, oh, okay. And then I reread it and it made sense. But
oh man, I thought I had highlighted it.
This is a movie, so I really want to watch the movie.
Me too, but I didn't want to watch it before talking about the book, just in case that it's different. Because I was worried I would get confused or something.
Page 238. Did you read this one, Rain? Page 238. Is that where? Wait, where am I? 238. Wait, 239.
Yeah, I know. I thought I highlighted it, but
okay. Okay, here we are. Like blood from an open vein, the wine began spurting into the glass, then slowed, flowed again for a moment, gurgled, dribbled away to nothing. Puzzled, George twisted the tap, set down the glass, and tilted the keg to it. Again, the slight trickle into the half-filled glass. Can't be empty, he mumbled, tapping the keg and rocking it on the silver-footed tray. He listened, then looked over at Leno with a mystified shrug. Damn thing's supposed to be full, right, Leno? Less someone's been at the wine, huh? His tobacco-stained fingers had fumbled the knot loose. He pulled the canvas aside and by the light of a raised candle peered inside. Quickly he fumbled for his napkin, which he clapped over his mouth, and while Niles and Mr. Angelini kept their places, the others drew closer. Mr. Fenstermarker and Dr. Brainerd, I don't know how to say these names, Mr. Foley, Ada as well, and together they stared. Mr. Fenstermarker was the first to break away, making awful retching sounds in his throat. Ada moaned aloud, and Pori, rising, tottered forward, her arms flung wide open, her screams beginning, and Ryder only half catching her as she crumbled. The dull lamp rolling away to the baseboard, the bulb shattering. What is it? Mr. Pennyfeather was demanding. What is it? He alone, seated behind smoked glass at the foot of the table, was unable to see what the others plainly saw, what Niles, his eyes now on the wavering candlelight image of his twin, did not care to see. The little face that, oh my God, the little face that floated in the dark red wine, so like the baby in the bottle, hair waving, the eyes staring up at the ceiling. The mouth parted in a silent scream. Oh my God. I don't know how I missed that. Ooh, that's really well written.
Yes. So good. Hold on 1 second. Oh, okay. I had to make sure my dog, what are you doing? Don't be eating anything. Oh, yes. But yeah, so he's, a monster, obviously. But I think that's what it is like once the grandmother dies and the uncle figures everything out, he mentions like, they won't say my name. They won't call me, my name. But then again, I guess it could be, is it Niles right there and he just takes on the personality, or is Holland actually possessing him? Which could be, to me, are two different things. But then we also get like this kind of like angel of death type thing, or I don't even know what you would call that.
Oh, yeah. He's having that vision.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. At the end, it says, they annoy me because they will not call me by my name. Call me his name, Niles. Niles, for God's sakes. Isn't that crazy? When I've told them for years, my name is Holland. So I think it's Niles' body, but Holland's evil spirit. Speaking of.
That's what I got from the ending.
Yeah.
Somebody said it reminded them of The Uninvited. It did, and also the original version of that movie is A Tale of Two Sisters. So good. It reminded me of that like it's the same type of concept. A little different, but yeah, definitely. Those two.
But what's The Uninvited? Like by Dorothy McCardle, or The Uninvited like
the movie? Is that what you're talking about? Because The Uninvited is an American remake of A Tale of Two Sisters, and it's about this girl and her sister who are they're like living with their dad and his new girlfriend, and the girlfriend's a crazy bitch and they don't like her, and there's reveals in that are very similar to this book.
Okay, yeah, that's probably what she means then, because The Uninvited, like the 1930s, 40s movie is what I was thinking of, and I was like, what?
No, I don't even know if I know that one.
It's a ghost movie, ghost story.
What is it about?
It's like a brother and sister move into a house, and there's a ghost that's like haunting it and doesn't want them there.
Okay.
Would you stop?
Let me add it to my list.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't like when
says.
movies have the same name. It drives me insane.
Oh, yeah. It does.
What
else do I have?
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I like when, like, once you know the reveal, you kind of like sit back and think, like, so I was thinking about his little like Prince Albert tin that he has, and he's got all that stuff in it, and one of the things he has is Holland's finger.
Yeah.
Because he cut it off to take the ring. And so then it's like, did Holland tell him to do that so he could have the ring still? Or like Holland made him do it so he could have the ring? Like,
or is Niles just messed up on his own that he's like, I'm gonna cut my twin brother's finger off and because I want this ring? Like that, I feel like
totally possible. I mean, like maybe they're both evil to an extent and Holland just like didn't control himself. Like maybe Niles would have done that stuff.
Yeah.
If he didn't know, or if he didn't decide, like, I don't want to be a bad person.
Or maybe the ring helped him. Maybe that's what gave the connection to so that Holland could come back. The ring was the dad's, right?
Yes. It was like a family heirloom, and they decided like it would be Holland's because he was older, I think. He was like the firstborn or something.
I think so.
But yeah, isn't that what I'm trying to think. Maybe it was this book and I'm just remembering wrong, but I just read or watched something where they're like, you have to have like a belonging of that person for them to be able to like contact them after death or something. So that could be it. Yeah, I don't know if it was like, I don't think it was cursed. I think it was like because it belonged to Holland.
Yeah.
It was like their gateway.
Yeah. That's what I think too.
Like when you buy something really old at a garage sale and there's like an evil demon in it.
Have you done that before?
No, thankfully.
Would you ever buy a haunted item on eBay?
No.
No? Did anybody in the chat? I have to know.
Even though, like, I might say, like, I don't believe in that stuff, like, just in case, no.
No, my luck, I would get haunted as fuck, and I can't deal with that at night. I'm already afraid of just living here to begin with without a haunted object.
Yeah. Yes, I remember that now, too. But that's when, I think that's when they talk about how they're born, one's born right at midnight or right before, and then one right after, and they have two different signs. But I think that's what it is like Niles could have came out of the womb first and been born first and been, I don't know, a Sagittarius. My gosh, do you see? She's eating the wires. And then, like, it just depends on when they were born. So I think they're kind of saying, like, it's the luck of the draw.
So I don't know astrology, but what is the most evil astrological sign?
I don't know.
Does anybody in the chat?
What's your sign? Because you're the most evil.
I'm a Virgo. I'm
a Pisces, so I don't know. I don't do that stuff. Like, I don't even know, like, what my husband's sign is, or I don't know what anybody.
I wish I did, but I get lost. I
don't even think they say it in the book. I think they just say, I believe they're born sometime in March, so that would be Pisces and somebody else. I don't know.
Is one an Aries?
Maybe.
November has the most serial killers. Interesting. That is interesting.
I've heard that before. That's weird.
But
yeah, that's why it also reminded me of, Pisces and Aries. That's what Rain says. She would know. Yeah, that's why it also reminded me of the bad seed, because it's like, he was just like born this evil person, like this terrible person.
Have you read The Bad Seed?
Yes.
I need to. And this made me want to more.
Have you seen like the movie?
I haven't. But it's just always one that I always see recommended on like classic movies you need to watch.
Yeah. We actually We watched it, and I watched a lot of really old movies with my grandparents growing up, and they always liked like Alfred Hitchcock and stuff. So all the dark movies and mysteries and stuff. So I had seen it, but we actually watched it in my criminology class in college, in one of my criminology classes.
Oh, wow.
I think because it was like, it can bring up the nature versus nurture argument and stuff, but.
Yeah. Scorpio is venomous and extremely evil, cunning and sly.
Let's see.
What was the whole, what I didn't like, or I was just like, why are they doing this, is the whole carnival bit. That section felt very weird to me.
And they talk about, they use the term like hermaphrodite and stuff, but but I mean, obviously it's a dated thing. I think back then, I'm a big Ray Bradbury fan. So he writes a lot about carnivals too. I think what it is back in the days when you had a lot of traveling carnivals and you had like oddities and like people who maybe just have like birth defects, but like because we don't have the internet, it's not like well known. So like, oh, let's put them in this carnival show. It was like a way to see things that, how do I want to explain this? Like magicians, like it was such a big event for a carnival to come to town, especially for children too, to see things that they would never see in their lives unless a carnival came to town. And whether that's like weird, scary, creepy stuff or like magicians and stuff, like it's just like a magical experience that these kids pre-TV and pre-internet and stuff, that was like a big deal. And so I think because it has like this mystery to it, like this unknown and excitement to it and like this darkness to it, like the carnival at night, I think that's why a lot of authors from those times wrote about them. Because they were like this big like mystery, magical thing all wrapped up into one. And it could be fun and happy and like awesome in the daytime. And then at night, it's like some sinister, all these carnies getting drunk and smoking and these kids going in like the scary little houses and stuff. And that's why I think it's like a big deal.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think I even read a review that said this is kind of Ray Bradbury-esque. I haven't read like any Ray Bradbury, so
yeah, I love him.
Something Wicked This Way Comes is the one I've always wanted to read, like on Halloween, but I always just never get to it.
Yeah, that one is very much. I mean, his prose is so beautiful and descriptive. Like you're not getting hardcore intense horror. You're getting like a super nostalgia feeling, beautifully written like story. Oh, it's one of my favorite books of all time. Like I love him so much. Let's see. Go ahead.
You have a crush on him?
Oh, I mean, yeah. If he was still alive, I'd hit it.
What was I gonna say? Did he write The Halloween Tree?
Yes.
Okay, so I have read that one.
Yeah, so that's like a kid's book. Yeah. Yeah, and this is like, it's just what you're seeing at a carnival is it's just nothing you would ever have a chance to see any other time.
I also think it's the magical element to the story. Like I think the kids were into magic, or they wanted to do that. They wanted to like put on magic shows, do magic tricks and stuff, which was a big thing back then too. Like that was popular. And it also kind of ties in with the whole element of the twins, not knowing who's who, the trickery of it all.
Yep. Yeah, one of the things that I highlighted when I was reading the afterword is it says, the novel is really about the moment when the weapons of childhood are revealed to be no more than a box of tricks. And it talks about how he's got his little Prince Albert tin and he's got his tricks and secrets in it.
That afterword was so good.
Yeah.
Like what else did it say? It said, the other is more than a great thriller. It is also surprisingly an intense lyrical meditation on childhood, nostalgia, and loss. And it is the tension between these two apparently incongruous impulses that gives the novel its strange and beautiful power. It's like, yeah. that is it. But yeah, it helped me understand the story a lot more.
Yeah. And I don't know who this, I meant to look up who Dan Chaon is.
Yeah, I meant to
I forgot. But he said, rereading this book, I can conjure my old self, that lost feeling of mystery and terrible magic. So yeah, it is all about, I mean, it's one big magic trick, right? Yeah. The sleight of hand of Niles doing all these things, and it's Holland's sleight of hand by making Niles do these things.
Okay, I'm Googling who this guy is. He's an American writer. He's written short story collections. I don't really know any of them, so I don't know. It just felt like a random, like, this is the person, but maybe it makes more sense if I've read his stuff. He probably writes similar type stuff. So yeah, overall I thought it was really good. I'm really glad that I pushed through because I almost gave up in the beginning.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you said, so this is in Paperbacks from Hell, right? Or is it just one of Grady Hendrix? Oh, it is?
Yeah. I think that's
what and he said that, once you get to a certain point, that's when things really start. So I'm glad you mentioned that because I was kind of like,
Yeah, once I read his review, I was like, okay, Grady, you got me. I'll read to page 200, and if I'm not shocked by whatever the hell you're telling me is going to shock me, then I'm going to be pissed off at you. But he was right. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was very well written, the beginning portions. It was just, I feel like a lot of it unnecessary. Yeah. Like, I didn't need a lot about the town and stuff. Like, I didn't care that much, but
I think, like, I was going in with the mindset of it being a certain kind of book. Like, I thought it was going to be, like, very fast-paced, like, a lot of scary stuff was happening, and that's not what it is. Like, scary stuff does happen, but it takes time to get there because I really want to get to know this family. But yeah, it just depends on the mindset, and I'm not always in a good mindset for this type of stuff.
Oh my gosh, hold on, I'm trying to. She literally like grabbed the computer cord. Okay. All right, Penny. Hey. You're the scariest thing I've seen in years. Come here.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of backstory.
Yeah, and I get like why some books do that. I just feel like where the story went, it didn't need to be done.
No. Maybe.
I mean, I get them wanting to elaborate on the game and the power, but like you could have just been like, oh, and then he visited Mrs. Smith down the street and poisoned her. Like, I mean, it could be.
Some stuff was just like, it was like random mundane conversations between two characters. And I was like, okay, like, can we get on with the show? Like, I don't care. Like, I was just like, let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah, older books, I do find that older books tend to be like that a lot.
Yeah. I was going to say, yeah. I feel like Rosemary's Baby is like that. Like a lot of stuff about them moving in and.
But it's just like
furniture and stuff.
It's just so like, I don't know. I feel like all that stuff is happening, but it's also super like almost fast paced at the same time. I don't know. Maybe it's because of the movie. I love the movie so much. So I was like, I was picturing it all in my head and it made it easier to read.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh, no. She's trying to exit out of my house. This fucking dog. Okay.
She's like, play with me.
Oh, she just wants to eat me. But those little puppy teeth, oh my gosh. They're so cute. They hurt so much, though.
Oh my God. When I had my puppy, I didn't realize that they lose their teeth. So I remember like finding his teeth everywhere. And you would step on them. They'd be like,
yeah. When I first got a dog, I didn't know they did that either, and I panicked and thought there was something wrong with her. Go. Can you just grab her? Yoke her up. They saw her already. She'd been jumping around. Yeah, we make poor life choices here. We have a 2.5-year-old with the terrible twos, and then we're like, let's get a puppy.
Is it helping him at all? Your son?
Yes, because, I don't know, for people who don't know, we lost both of our dogs, and they were laying in bed, my son and my husband, the other day, and just over and over, or the other week, he was making Danny replay videos of our dogs playing. Aww. He'd be like, again, please. And I was just sitting on the side of the bed, like, crying. I was like, we have to get him a friend.
That's so hard.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you have one now.
Yes,
nice
and
crazy
rescued
dog.
her. Yeah, so. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it is, because it's like nothing is happening, all these pages, and then everything happens.
Yeah. I feel like that a lot of the older books, they trick you into thinking they're not, like, they won't take you that long to read. Like, this took me, I think actually it didn't take me that long to read because I actually sat and read it. But, like, I think, I don't know, like, the font, they, like, I feel like the formatting of these books is off to make you think that they're shorter than they really are, but they pack more in there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. They're always deceiving.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even this edition is, I guess this one is almost 300 pages, so that's kind of long.
Yeah.
But still, like, when I was looking at the, like, recent edition that they published, it didn't seem, I don't know, it didn't seem that long.
I'm glad it wasn't longer than 300 pages.
Yeah.
Like, it was, like, the perfect length. It could have been shorter, but.
Yeah. And I think his skillful writing kind of made up for the slow pace too, because if it would have been like poorly written and slow like that, I would have been out. I would have been like, no. But yeah, I did like I liked the beginning and the end being in a different location and not knowing in the beginning, like that prologue.
Yeah.
I liked, but it did, like I said, made it a little more predictable.
But I think it's only predictable to us now because we're so used to it.
And like if you go and you're reading these like more classic, which it's only written in like 1970, but still like more classic horror novels or mystery novels, like that's where all of them now get their ideas from, or like they spin off that or use. So it's like, of course you're going to know and guess, but like, oh, yes. Did
he?
This is the woman. This is the neighbor who he goes to visit her, and they're talking about he has rat poison with him, and she's like, "Why do you have that?"
Oh.
And like not. And so, and then she makes them tea and he gets the cups for them. And not once are you ever told that he put something in the tea. You just like put the two things together and then you don't hear about it for a while. And then you hear about how she was found after she had been dead for like a week, sitting in her chair.
That's right.
And they're like, oh, it must have been a heart attack. And he had slipped her the rat poison because she didn't have wounds. Like they couldn't tell what had happened other than like, her heart failed. But somebody, either the grandma. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. I like how there was a lot of ambiguity with stuff. Like he didn't outright tell you, like you had to guess. That's why like I got confused at some point. So I did have to reread, but I like that. He didn't treat us like we were stupid. I mean, I was a little stupid at certain points because I like completely missed stuff,
but that's what it is. It's like he has the poison, he's having tea with this woman, and then like later in the book, Niles is in the store and he overhears people talking about her being found dead.
Yeah.
Or even before that, somebody mentions that there is a smell coming from her house and it needs cleaned. So, like, you just know, like, without him ever saying it, you know that he put the poison in the tea and then she died and now she's sitting there and now she's been found. I love that kind of writing and stuff. Oh, so good.
I think you also could kind of tell that he also, or that Holland was the one who killed their dad. Like, there's just like, that he killed the dad from like, the moment you find out that the dad died in a tragic way.
Oh, wait. Scared her to death by pulling. I thought he just like had the poison in like the mouse and stuff with him. Like, she was like, "Why do you have that?" And he was like, "Oh, I have this, and I have my mouse and my, my poison." I don't know.
I forgot about the mouse.
Yeah.
I think it's like playing with your head a little bit too, because you don't know what's real, like, or what's not, and who, if he, like, the whole not knowing if he's Niles or if he's Holland. I like that there's just like this confusion.
Right. And I also like now that you get to the end and or even once you get the reveal that Holland's dead, it even makes you look back and question.
Yeah.
Like what you thought you knew. Or like, yeah. Because, I mean, it is. Go ahead.
Like, there were scenes where he would go back and he's having, like, I was like, this Holland kid never talks to anybody else but Niles. I was like, he's dead. He's dead, right? Like, but there's people who acknowledge that, there were people acknowledging that Holland was still around. So I was like, okay, I'm confused. But yeah.
Yeah, but then there also was the woman or the young girl or something in town who was bitching about Niles doing something, or she was complaining about one of them doing something bad, and then they were like, "Oh no, it was the other one," and she's like, "What? There's more than one?"
Yeah, was that the one where they like, "Oh, it couldn't have been Holland because he was dead"?
Or I think she may have said something had happened to her in the past, and she was like, "Oh, it was Niles." And they're like, no, that was Holland. He's bad. But she's like, there's not two. Like, so they're just like Rain said, but magic trick on the readers, but also just a magic trick on everyone in the book with whatever Niles and Holland were doing. Because if they're twins, and you don't know them very well, they could pull things over. And they liked putting on like magic shows and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Holland definitely killed the dad. I think that's what that was.
I think so too. But now that did Niles kill Holland? Did he push him down the well? Like, I'm just really questioning everything now.
Well, see, then you have to think back. So if Niles pushed Holland in the well, is Holland really like possessing him or talking to him, or is Niles just all messed up? Because if Niles is just all messed up, then yeah, sure, he could have pushed him.
Yeah, that's what the other layer to it is. Like, is he's just lost his mind?
Maybe.
The more I talk and think about this book, the more I like it.
Yeah, no, I really liked it. It just the only thing I didn't like was the pacing. That's it.
Yeah.
I definitely want to watch the movie now and see how they handle it. What they do. Because I wonder
if it will be as obvious.
Yeah. And I wonder too, do they have like one kid playing like both twins? Yeah. Or are they going to look slightly different and it might be a little bit easier to tell what's going on?
Who would you cast? Like, all I can think about now is like the Dylan and Cole Sprouse or whatever their names are.
Like from Big Daddy or whatever.
Yeah. The other movie. Who is this kid?
Yeah, I'm looking at how do I?
Oh no, it is played by twins.
Oh.
Two little,
let's see,
dudes. Oh, and John Ritter is in it.
What?
But I don't know who he is. Like, I don't know.
Oh, he's Ryder, so he is the twin, like their brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was up with them watching? They watched them have sex, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And I mean, like, she was adopted, and I'm not trying to like give them, I'm not trying to protect them or like whatever, but she was their adopted sister, and that's one of the reasons why maybe she didn't have like the powers too, is because she was adopted. But yeah, they watched them have sex like in the little peephole thing.
So we can watch John Ritter have sex on screen, probably, possibly.
Maybe.
Where to watch? Let's see where to watch this.
Jenny Sullivan.
YouTube, Vudu, Apple TV, Amazon Prime. Freeform? No, this has to be the wrong thing. Oh no, that's The Other Woman. What the? That's not it. The other. There's too many of the others. I'm sure you can find it on Prime. I feel like it was on, maybe.
It might. I mean, I guess it could be on YouTube.
Or it could be on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. I think it's Prime Video. Yeah. In 1935, Connecticut farm country, two twin 10-year-olds, Niles and Holland, appear to be the source of mysterious fatal accidents. That's the synopsis.
No, there's potential for a John Ritter sex scene.
Yeah.
That's enough to get me to watch a movie.
Yeah, that's what I like, books like this where you can, think about the different things that it means, or the different, like, because I feel like we do kind of get like it feels like a finalized ending. Like, yes, I know what happened, done. But then like you start thinking about it and talking about it and you're like, I don't know.
Yeah. And I feel like it's one you can go back and reread and pick things up that you didn't on the first read.
Yeah. No, just little boys watching their older brother or older sister have sex.
Yeah.
But I mean that's a lot of times people put like evilness and sex stuff or sexuality together. So
yeah. At least they weren't having sex with each other. Which I wouldn't have been surprised by because of all the stuff back then.
Yeah.
They loved incest. They really did.
Oh. Yeah. I definitely want to watch the movie now. Don't know if I have. I like how the grandma thinks that she's gonna try to kill Niles and take care of it, but that doesn't work.
How did she die? Did he kill her? Or did she just fall?
No, she was like going to put him. She locked like both of them in the cellar where his dad died. And then they had all those plants. I forget what.
I don't remember.
Flowers in the attic.
Oh, it is. It is a perfect segue. I wish I caught that sooner.
Me too. But yeah, so she like locks herself and Niles in the cellar and lights it on fire. But he remembers that there's an extra, like another exit, another way out that he can get through, and he gets out and she dies in there.
He's an evil little bastard.
I know. And then they just lock him away in a home, and I don't know what kind of home it is. I don't know if it's like just an asylum or something.
That's what I was guessing, just an asylum.
Hopefully he can't like just come and go as he pleases, but because it's like the uncle signed him up, like, so I hope it's not like he has to be there.
But also, didn't Niles tell them that the grandma just went crazy and tried to kill him? Like he tried to play it off, like that.
I think he tried to play it off, but the uncle like put everything together and realized what was going on. Like with the woman, like the neighbor with the baby, like your sister's kid is just missing. Like, I don't know. It's just
I can't
that was so brutal, but so good.
It was really well written.
Yeah.
Okay,
and it's like. It's like it's going like you're like just get to it. But yes, incest.
Yes, we love it
here.
I was just kidding.
Yeah. Woohoo! Join us for a year of incest. The incest in 24. Yeah.
My God. We could probably have a whole, like, every month read a book about incest for a while. Like, there's probably a bunch.
Oh, yeah. Especially, like, in the old school horror stuff, for sure.
Yeah. So next month is Flowers in the Attic, which I have never read. I've always wanted to.
Yes. By V.C. Andrews.
Yes. V.C. Andrews.
Technically, it is an 11-book series, but I feel like, yes, I've read the first one. Like, I've already read Flowers in the Attic, and I feel that if you read it, you can accept that as the story and be done. Like, you don't need to go on.
Yeah.
And if you're leery of the incest, it's not horrendous. It's not horrendous. It's just, it's there. If you read horror, you can handle it.
What the hell did they tell in 11 books? Like, they're still in that damn attic?
I'm not saying anything. I don't want to tell you what happens in that book.
That's insane.
But it is about a family. The father passes away, and the kids and the mother go to live with her parents, and we go from there. So,
I've seen the movie.
Oh, okay.
Well, I've seen the original one, and they also came out with one years later with Heather Graham, and I think Ellen Burstyn from The Exorcist, but I could be wrong. It was on Lifetime. Like,
I remember.
Lifetime.
I've seen that one, I think.
But yeah, the book is just like, I don't know. Is it written for young readers?
I mean, it doesn't, like, when you're reading it, you don't feel like, it's not like, I don't think it's like written down, like reading level wise. I don't think so. But I know when it came out, it must have been who the target audience was, because all the kids were reading it, and that's why it was like a big deal. And they were like learning about their body parts and stuff through it. I see, Rain. I don't know. Is it supposed to be YA?
I think it is.
I mean, it could, like, if I had a child who was a teenager or YA age, I would not let them read that. But I also grew up on horror, so I don't know.
I think this is a book a lot of people read when they were getting into horror when they were younger.
Yeah.
And, like, the other one I know from her is My Sweet Audrina. That's another one. Like, I've been finding a lot of her books at thrift stores, so I've been like slowly collecting them. I haven't read any of them, but I'm like, oh, another one. And I just keep buying them, and they're all on my shelves. So hopefully I get to them, and I like her.
They always have great covers.
They do.
I'm trying to see, like, I just Googled real quick, like, how many books has she written, but it doesn't.
Well, and she also didn't she also have people writing under her name too? Like, ghostwriting for her? Like, maybe. I think there's a lot.
Probably, because there's a lot.
What?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. So there's like this, I don't know if they ever figured out who the girl is, but there was a photograph of a pool. Yeah.
I know what case you're talking about. Okay, go on.
And she was like, it's a Polaroid kind of picture of a girl, like maybe two girls or a girl and a little boy. Yeah. Tied up in a van or bus or something. And she's reading The Flowers in the Attic is there.
I didn't know that book was there.
Yeah.
But I know, like, people thought it was Tara Calico. I think that was the name of the girl who's been missing. That it was on Unsolved Mysteries. But that Polaroid is so creepy. Like, if you don't know if it's actually a girl who is kidnapped or it's just a bunch of kids messing around.
Yep.
But
I still don't think they know what it is, what it's from, who it is. Yeah.
No. That was like one of the first things I saw when I was like first like getting into true crime, and on Reddit. It was always on Reddit.
Yeah. I did too. All I do is listen to true crime podcasts.
I know.
That's
I'm the
it.
same way. And
My
then I
mother,
terrified.
I know. My mother had the audacity to ask me if I keep an eye on my son when he's in our backyard because of strangers. I was like, listen, lady, all I do is listen to true crime podcasts. I got this. It's like,
I could never have kids because I would just always worry. Like, I worry about my dog. Like too much. Too much
people
worry.
steal dogs all the time.
Yeah. And I'd fucking kill. I'd kill somebody if they stole my dog. Like, I would track them down like Liam Neeson and take it. I would kill them. Like, whenever, like, I think somebody stole Lady Gaga's dogs a few years ago, and I remember like they almost killed her dog walker, and I was like, that is fucking horrible. I hope they die. Like, the people who did it die.
Horrendous. Well, they steal them, like, sometimes if, like, your dog's not fixed or something. Like, say you have, like, this fancy purebred that's not fixed. Someone's going to steal them and breed them. Or they steal them as to be bait dogs, like, during fights and stuff.
Oh, I don't
horrible.
Understand.
That's all I do. It's so, like, you'll be doing, like, the most wholesome thing. Like, I'm giving my son a bath, and he's, like, playing with his water cups and stuff, and in my ears is, like, about some woman getting slaughtered.
Like, I love the TikToks of, like, the guy who's, like, your girlfriend is doing her makeup, and this is what she's listening to, and I'm like, yeah, it's just so calming and soothing and therapeutic.
I don't know why. I think a lot of it for me is like I love listening to unsolved ones, but also like when they get solved or like they're solved like many years later and you're like, hell yeah, you thought you could just get away with this.
There's one that I've been listening to lately. It's called Dark Down East, and it's crimes all set in Maine and like on the Maine coast. It's really interesting. I highly recommend it.
I'm gonna check that one out. I've got like a whole list of them because I asked on Instagram the other day. I was like, I need something because obviously all the time isn't enough. Like I need more.
And it's hard to choose. Like I like the ones that are like I forget what it's called, but they tell one story over the course of the podcast. I love those ones. And then I love the ones that are just like different cases all the time. But like some of them I can't gel with. Like they it's just too much like chatter between the hosts and it's too fun for them and I'm like,
like it's I always get hung up like yes, it's entertaining me, but I want to take it seriously and like respectfully.
Yeah. Like and actually listen, like they actually put in the research, like not just read a wiki article on it.
Yeah.
Like, I could do that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I'm just always wary of everything.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I don't even leave my house. I'm slowly becoming an agoraphobic, or is that what it is? A person who can't leave. Yeah. Like I'm lucky I have my dog who forces me to leave because sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I can do it today. I don't know if I can go to the grocery store. Like I'm just at the point where I'm ordering everything online to be delivered to my house, like so I don't leave.
I mean, hey.
I know. I like red-handed too. They're pretty good.
Right. I'll write that one on my list too.
I think they're British. They're British. I don't know if that is a good British accent.
But yes. All right. Wrote that down. So yes. Any final thoughts on the other?
I think a lot of people liked it from what I was seeing.
Yeah, I really liked it. It's one that's been on my radar for a long time. Like one of those ones that's like on my list of like classic horrors that I want to get to.
It was one of my books that I wanted to read for 2022. Like, and Flowers in the Attic is my next one. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm checking them off one by one.
Yeah, and his Harvest Home. I'm definitely gonna check that one out.
It looks thicker.
Oh,
it
really?
Looks bigger.
Let me see. Oh yeah, it's like 400 pages, hardcover, 400 pages.
But I feel like this is like it's about a creepy town, I think, or a creepy house. Like I feel like those are okay with being like more descriptive and
Yeah, it says like the village of Cornwall Combe is a place of ultimate horror. So
it sounds good. We didn't bring up the mother much. Yeah.
yeah, but understandably, if now like once we know later on that both she's lost a husband and a son, like
Yeah.
I mean, like I understand why
And her other son is crazy, like and evil.
Yeah. Or like she's trying to cope and then she's got her son who she probably feels like can't let like is so messed up that he thinks his brother's still alive. And she's like, I'm trying to get over and accept that he's gone and you're just not even like acknowledging it. Yeah. I did like that she saw the finger though. Like that's just so sick and fucked up. Like that she had to see that.
Yeah. And then I think he said at one point she was standing over him while he slept. She was just like staring at him like, what the fuck? Oh. That was creepy.
Yeah. Oh my god.
She's probably like, should I kill him?
Oh. Yeah. But yeah, I really like this one. I think it was
I did too.
Successful. And Flowers in the Attic should be fun. I definitely think it's less like I don't know. Not philosophical. I don't know. Less to really like determine. Yeah, it's just there.
I think it's more pulpy. Like more So yes. Yes. What's next month? What month are we in now? We're in March, right? Is it March?
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So April, Flowers in the Attic, VC Andrews, and then if on our Instagram and stuff, we'll post when the live show will be towards the end of the month. We haven't decided yet. But I think that's it. Thank you. For joining. Yes, thanks for joining us. We do have a Discord linked below. Everybody and all the hosts are linked below. We don't use the Discord much, but it's there just in case.
Using it more.
Yeah, I always forget. Or like I'm so busy like reading that it's hard to like pick up my phone and like message because usually I'm like doing something with the kid or whatever. But
all right.
Here we go.
Cool.
So we're gonna end it here. Thanks again for coming and we'll see you next month. Bye.
Bye.